roasting me if I'm giving him all these intros.
We're not roasting you, Clay, but we are critiquing your game. 8 of 19 from the floor. I see some calls here. I was getting DMs. It won't stop. He has a bad game, then it's, hey, we need to put Clay on the bench. Start Moses Moody over Clay. I got a text. I got one of those tweets yesterday. It's pretty funny. 8 of 19, 5 of 14 from the three-point line, 21 points. Didn't play his best game. 6 rebounds, 5 assists, though. Made some great passes in the fourth quarter. Steph with 30 to lead the Warriors, but too much De'Aaron Fox, too much Malik Monk, too much Trey Lyles. That trio combined, the Kentucky trio, combined for 86 points. And they were 10 of 18 combined from the three-point line. Trey Lyles, De'Aaron Fox, and Malik Monk. Heck, in the fourth quarter, the Kings scored 35 points. Monk and Fox accounted for 28 of those points. So how do you slow those guys down? Kings up 1-0 in his best-of-7 series. Let me know when we got Sam Amick, national NBA senior writer for The Athletic. We love Sam Amick on the roast. I love Sam Amick's reporting. He was up there in Sacramento. Sam, good morning. Welcome back to the roast here on 95.7 Game. Gentlemen? What's up, man? You were there. I saw you on TV all day long, sitting next to Shams Charania and Anthony Slater. So you had a front row seat. First, let's lay the foundation of this game. Seeing the Go-to-One Center have a playoff game, seeing the city of Sacramento have a playoff game for the first time in 17 years, 16 seasons. It was 6,189 days since they had a playoff game up there. What was your take on the environment, the lead up to the game? Because it certainly felt like it lived up to the hype.
Yeah, I think it did, and then some. First playoff building, obviously, in that facility, right? And so nobody really knew what the acoustics were going to be like. You've seen the crowd be loud this season, and they had a good vibe to them for sure. But it was on another level. I don't know if I have recency bias, but I think it is on my short list, and I've seen a lot of extremely loud playoff games. You know, whether you're talking Oracle, you're talking Oklahoma City, places like that. It was up there, and I mean, anytime that you're turning to the reporters next to you on press row and thinking about having a conversation and then basically being like, nope, we can't even talk. It's so damn loud in here. That's what it was.
Right. Yeah, I thought it was awesome through the television, obviously. It felt like a crazy environment, and I think that's where it gets real frustrating for a lot of Warrior fans is start of the third quarter, fans are getting food or whatever, and so there weren't a lot of people in their seats in the lower bowl area, and it felt like the Warriors kind of seized control in the third quarter, and it's quiet. I mean, you could hear a pin drop, and then with a couple minutes to go in that third quarter, not only do the Kings rally back, they take the lead, and the place is going crazy, and it felt like the Warriors missed their opportunity. Did you get that same sense that I got?
Oh, no question. No question. You had this vibe where, and again, because I happened to get the good seat that night, I'm seeing the facial expression on Steph Curry when he's hitting big shots, Klay Thompson, and I've, seen these boys do it for so many years. You're going, okay, here they come, and this is where they rip the locals' heart out. And it felt like it was on the verge of that, and I think you nailed it on the head. They, surprisingly, with Sabonis on the bench, Alex Len filling that big man spot, De'Aaron Fox turning things on, and other guys hitting shots, the Kings turned it back the other way. Because you got to assume if you're a Kings fan, you're just programmed for the worst. You know what I mean? So I think once the Warriors went up 10, it for sure had that feeling of, all right, this has been a fun night, but the Warriors are about to do what the Warriors do. But the Kings took it back.
Sam Amick here on 95.7 The Game. Sam, Shasky mentioned that third quarter. I think that was our turning point on NBC Sports Bay Area. 2:18 left in that third quarter, and Steve Kerr pulls Stephen Curry. I get it, to get rest. You don't want to play in heavy minutes in game number one with a quick turnaround in game two. However, they were up 86-78. Curry gets pulled, and the Kings right away go on a 13-4 run. Trey Lyles goes crazy, 10 points in that frame, in that stretch. What did you think about that substitution pattern right there with Steph getting pulled with 2:18 left in the third quarter?
I mean, it's funny. You mentioned in passing Bonte, my guy Slater, who obviously does a great job covering the team. I don't know, did you guys catch his post-game interaction with Steph?
I did see that. Steph was laughing and chuckling. We'll get to your story in a second as well, but no, I did see that as well.
I only bring that up to say that, Slater obviously is constantly studying Steph's rotation patterns and Steve's rotation. And you could tell, I don't even think my opinion matters that much. You could tell that Steph was being diplomatic with the way that he handled his response, which is to say that, he and Steve are in such lockstep that he's not certainly going to say anything publicly about whatever frustration he might have. But it felt like it was on his face, that there was probably a conversation to be had about that particular choice. And those are always tough choices to make, and you can't, predict the kind of spark that the Kings brought at that point. But obviously it backfired.
What's the area that you don't expect the trend, if you will, to not continue? Do you expect for Sabonis to continue to play as poorly as he did in game one? Do you expect Keegan and Herter and Sabonis, I guess, to not be as impactful? Or do you expect maybe Monk and Fox to continue feeding? Like, what's the area that won't continue?
Probably, and I say this, I got a ton of respect for this guy. It's just, I think Monk, he's not giving you that every time out. And he has done that a handful of times, and he has it in him. That is the danger, though, of this Kings team, is that they are deep when it comes to shooters. And, I don't know how much it matters they could beat the Warriors tonight and Monk could have 8 points. That's very plausible because Kevin Herter is a guy that can go on a heater. Keegan, who I actually thought, I didn't study his game, after the fact, but like his composure seemed okay, had some threes that were in and out. They were not shooting the ball well, the Kings starters early on. And so there's guys that can come up and bite you and take that role that Monk played the other night. Fox had an incredible playoff debut. Not going to give you 38 every night, but he's going to be clutch in the fourth.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, as far as X factors go, guys, Mike Brown has challenged Fox to be a better defender, and I admire it, but he cannot be chasing Steph Curry like he was in game one for the whole series. I talked to Steph post-game, and it was like, the comment he made was, the goal is, who can get this thing to 4. You could tell that Steph knew that, all right, we lost the battle tonight, but as far as the war goes in this series, De'Aaron Fox has got to be carrying their offense. You can't do that and chase Steph Curry the entire night.
Well, I want to get to your piece because I thought it was very enlightening there to hear from Fox and he brought it up, the J.R. Smith clip where he's talking about Dellavedova where he almost died after Game 3 of that finals back in 2014-15. And Fox, to his credit, man, picking up Curry full court that first to fourth quarter. I thought he made Curry defer at times when the common fan would just sit there and say, well, Curry, be more aggressive. But I give Fox credit for that, for being in his face. So what will be the strategy? What do you think the adjustment will be for Stephen Curry to counter that Fox defending him full court, whether it's Fox or, heck, Davion Mitchell when he comes off the bench?
That's a good question. I don't know what Steph's counter is. Steph's going to be Steph. I thought you were going to take it the other way, Bonte. I don't know, how many minutes the Kings can do that with Fox.
He's got young legs, though, right? He's got fresh.
I guess, and it is wild. Steph, I flat out told Steph, I'm like, man, you're 35. You got a decade on this guy. You have a decade on him, and you're running him ragged. The J.R. Smith clip was unbelievable because, as the Bay Area fans know, the narrative on the whole Dellavedova thing had always driven Steph crazy and acting like he was a Steph stopper. I kind of love how J.R. kept it pretty real, and he was like, can we please focus on the fact that, Steph almost killed this man, with the way that he tried to guard him, and to hear De'Aaron Fox say, that S is real, and kind of confirm what the experience is like, I thought was super enlightening. Steph, I think, will probably try to be more aggressive early on, try to get Fox in foul trouble. I think he was playing the long game in game one, and you're right. Steph was pretty quiet early on,
right?
And then it kind of let the Kings get their feet underneath them. Which, again, what did Draymond say going into this series? With a young and experienced team like the Kings, you want to kind of, hit them early and shake their confidence, and that didn't happen. So I think Steph starting slow played a part in that, and certainly the Warriors should try to get him going early.
What are some of the adjustments that you think they might, the Warriors might tinker with? Is it Wiggins in the starting lineup? Is it maybe reallocation of certain minutes, defensive strategies? What are some things that pop to your head?
The Wiggins thing is front and center. He looked pretty good. Obviously missed a late shot, missed some shots in the second half, but guys were raving about his ability to look like Andrew Wiggins right out the gate. So I'm very curious to hear in a little bit here from Steve Kerr and shoot around on the Wiggins perspective. The Sabonis factor to me is big because I think I'm in the camp that says he was the Kings' best player this year. And to be honest with you, and it's funny how the playoffs sometimes make you question different awards votes that you put down. I had Sabonis fifth in MVP this year.
Wow.
And he was incredible. And to see the Warriors and Looney, and Draymond do the job they did was something that I had not seen from Sabonis, I think, all year. You know what I mean? Like, I kept telling people they gave him like the Westbrook light defensive coverage. You know, like we're playing off of you. He's not a terrible shooter,
Right.
but on a playoff stage with the nerves, which it seemed like they got to him a little bit, they were daring him to shoot. And more importantly, and the Warriors know this as well as anybody, because Sabonis has elements to his game that are like Draymond, where you're like that fulcrum of the offense. But they cut off his passing lanes. You know, they were physical with his cutters, and he was kind of lost. And as you guys know, like when the Kings took control of that game in the third quarter, Sabonis was on the bench.
Yep.
And the Kings can't win the series if that's the case. So on the Kings side, they got to find a way to kind of activate him again.
Sam Amick here on the Morning Rush on 95.7 The Game, NBA senior writer for The Athletic. Sam, looking at Klay Thompson and Jordan Poole. Let's start with Jordan Poole. He's questionable with the ankle injury. I thought he was rolling in the second quarter. Speaking of rotations, he got pulled with 4:52 left in the second quarter. I thought, man, he's on a heater. 11 points during that stretch. That 7-minute stretch, he was getting to the free throw line. He was never able to regain that rhythm again. So if he can't go, that's a big-time blow for the Golden State Warriors. Do you believe the Warriors, if they do fall down 0-2, can rally in this series against this upstart Sacramento Kings team?
Yeah, they can. You're talking Chase Center, go get two at home. It's very possible. I've seen everything. I mean, come on, guys. Like, we kind of lived the 3-1 finals together. Like,
I'm with you there, Sam. It's just more so for my partner. I'm trying to get some confidence in the
I hear you. I mean, 0-2 would be bad, and I do think, I'll say this much, too. I talked to, a former Warrior, Harrison Barnes, for a while yesterday. I'll probably have that interview out in a couple days.
You need that.
And it's a good conversation. And one of the things that I pulled away from HB and also previously from Mike Brown and Sabonis and Fox and all these guys, it's pretty impressive how they have made a kind of psychological choice to really do everything they can to advance here. I know that sounds really basic, but like in terms of their own culture and their spirit, like they don't have the happy to be here thing. They didn't celebrate that much when they clinched the playoff berth. When they had a team dinner a couple nights back, all the messaging from Barbosa, Barnes, Dellavedova, all these people with really unique perspectives, either on the Warriors experience or being against the Warriors, like Delly, they have had a ton of messaging about how we can do this and the time is now. And now that it's the Warriors, it's obviously like, let's send the champs home. That's what they want to do. You kind of read the room and you go, man, I kind of think they believe they can do it. It doesn't mean they can, but belief is a big thing. So, 0-2 would be the end of the world for the Warriors, but these Kings are coming, and they're deep and they're fun. And the defense obviously was probably a little better than I thought it would be. I know 123 is a big number, but the defense has been the problem all year. They got to keep doing that too.
Yeah, 0-2, it may not be the end of the world, but it's as close to situation critical as you can get. I mean, for me. You referenced
the Kings were, not to jump in real quick, to your point, the Kings were a fantastic road team.
Yeah.
And one of the best in the league.
Well, and I just seeing their pace of play and what they're doing, I think they present problems to try to beat 4 out of 5 times if you go down 0-2. I just think it's really hard. And I don't think that's me, being scared of the Kings. I think it's just more reality. But you brought up Harrison Barnes. Did you notice him and Draymond kind of giving each other the business? Nothing like over the top or anything, but it felt like to me like HB was locked in, especially early. I know there were long stretches he didn't do a whole lot, but that 3-pointer that he hit late in the game
over Looney, yeah.
I don't know. A certain part of me watching HB from afar, I'm like, you know what? Good for him.
Yeah. That we get into some of that stuff. He's so funny because you hear the word stately always attached to Harrison.
Yeah.
He's just a stately personality. He's pretty close to the vets with his emotions, with his true thoughts, and I've covered him a long time. And to be honest with you, this is the most real conversation I've had with him, where I kind of admitted, like, man, for years I've kind of wondered, like, where's your head actually at in relation to the Warriors experience, and so within that context, what does this series mean to you? And he didn't pull the curtain back all the way, but it was more than he had before. And I think, to put it, kind of very simply, like, he really wants this, not just because he wants to advance. I think it is personal, not in any sort of acrimonious way, but like, the narrative is not hard to unpack here.
No doubt.
He was the scapegoat when they lost in 2016. Here comes Kevin Durant. HB is a thing of the past. Since then, a few words kind of exchanged, not even really exchanged. Draymond said a few things publicly about, his relationship with Harrison. And so, when I saw that late game moment that absolutely jumped out at me, you think about that stuff. And Harrison in general is not all that emotive on the court. And, he was playing physical, playing hard, didn't shoot all that well early, but that big three late and not backing down when he and Draymond are having words. You can tell he's in this thing.
Nah, he definitely told Katie Christensen, a color analyst of the Sacramento Kings, that he definitely remembers what Draymond has said, especially on the shot when he said it's hard to wake up on a Tuesday for the Sacramento Kings or OKC. Now, Draymond's admitted that the Kings are a lot better this year, but Harrison hasn't forgotten. Real quick before we let you go, you think Jordan Poole plays tonight? Twisted that ankle with 52 seconds left in the third quarter. The ankle injury has been lingering. What did you hear out the Warriors camp yesterday about Jordan Poole's status?
So, not two things. Not the answer you want. I didn't hear anything, just being honest. But I did see the look on Jordan's face during the game because, again, I had a good seat that I probably won't have tonight. So I'm going to take that insight and share it with you guys. Like his face, just from a human standpoint, that young man was in a lot of pain. He really, really, really looked like he was struggling. And to me, it was the kind of expression, the kind of vibe where it would not surprise me at all if he did not go tonight.
Ooh, that's not good.
It's a big blow. It's a big blow.
That's not good.
That's not good at all. Nas Shasky, he just turned red on me, Sam Amick, so thanks for that intel.
More like
right there.
Ghost White.
Yeah, Ghost White. Yeah, now you think he was worried before this interview. Boy, we got a long hour and 10 minutes coming up. Sam, enjoy tonight.
Sam, do you have any investigative reporting? Who was the guy sitting next to 50 Cent in the Niner hat?
Next to 50, man, I wish I had a picture in front of me. I didn't see that dude. Who? White guy, black guy?
No, he was a black guy with a Niner hat. Everybody wants to figure it out.
I'm trying to figure out who it was. I didn't know if it was.
And I couldn't keep up. I mean, you had Barry Bonds.
E40.
Everybody. Yeah, E40. Well, that's the whole. We didn't even get into E40.
Was Bonds sitting next to the Kings owner?
Yeah, Vivek Ranadive.
Okay, that's what he was. Okay.
Yeah, they have some kind of partnership.
Gotcha.
Kings, I believe, have a connection to the River Cats, and Bonds is Bonds is part of that group. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah, 50's got like a partnership. He sells his drink up on the concourse. It cracks me up. It's like you talk. I mean, listen, it's new success. I know we got to go, but like it's wild to me how you win a little bit. The celebs start coming out, and they're out there hitting that beam button with Fox. After the game, it was quite a scene.
Yeah, Jason Williams back in business. White Chocolate. I saw your Instagram videos with White Chocolate with all the smoke. And Stevie Jackson and Matt Barnes. Funny. That was pretty cool, man. He's got that West Virginia accent. It's pretty cool to see White Chocolate back in the building. Sam, you're the man. We'll be looking for your covers at HB interview coming up later this week in The Athletic. Of course, enjoy Game 2 up there at the G1C. Should be a lot of fun.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. Enjoy.
Anytime. Sam Amick, the man, here on 95.7 again. We'll get back into the calls and react to what he had to say there. Jordan Poole. It's concerning, said the look on his face.
No doubt. I'm getting roasted by Tyler Miller in the chat because he's saying Joe's obsessed with the guy in the Niner hat. I just wanted to know who it was.
Everybody did. Everybody saying, you know who that is? Is that Tony Yayo? No, it doesn't look like Tony Yayo. Maybe it's just 50 Cent Boy.
You gotta Google
50 Cent Boy. Why do we care about who was there in the Niner hat so much?